your cousin scored better than you. I feel that is like a punch in the face.
And I found myself losing myself to, just thinking of what the world needs from me.
You are overthinking!
None of your business, Daryl.
Are you sure? Welcome back, youths, to the second episode of YTF TV.
So let's pick the topic that we'll be discussing today.
Wait. I think the guests should introduce themselves.
Oh, yes, okay. Sorry, so today we have Branden and Munah. So would you guys like to introduce yourselves? Branden?
Hi, I'm Branden. I just joined the workforce about a year ago. I am 24 this year.
Alamak, do age ah. Hello, I'm Munah. I'm an actress and host here, and I am 34 this year. 10 years older than you. Nice, but still counted as a youth.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
still youth.
Yes.
So welcome
you.
guys.
Thank you.
Yes, and we are also gonna be doing something different today. So before I announce the topic, I will read out a few statements, and if you have heard it a million times before, please use this chicken. Terbalik. Chicken. Crown. Chicken.
Okay.
So, you want to demonstrate?
Alright, so how it works is this. If you look at the questions, okay, we're going to read out the questions, and
Yes.
if you vehemently disagree or agree with it, right, to show your emotions, right, all you have to do is to squeeze it once for a very mild, kind of like, okay lah. But if you feel, wow, very strongly about it, okay, you must do this. Okay, don't mind say, the chicken won't spoil.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's go. So the first one. Why are your grades so bad? Your cousin scored better than you. How do you feel about that? Okay, next.
Okay.
Your colleagues can do it so quickly. What's taking you so long? Why do you want to work as a TikToker? You should be a doctor. And last one. I've taught you this so many times. Why are you still doing it wrong?
Very familiar.
Okay, so after all these questions, does anyone want to make a guess what's the topic for today?
Do we get multiple choice questions?
Answers. Open-ended.
Open.
Okay, let me make a guess.
Yes.
Is it about performance?
Something about
Career
it. Yes.
path.
Yes, but links to the performance.
Something bigger.
Like all
Life
these
goals.
kind of questions means the person.
Expectation?
Yes.
Our topic of the day is, hey, but your expectations are killing me. So I think most of us would have at one point in our lives faced the challenge of living by other people's expectations.
Yeah, so for example, our parents want us to follow a certain path in life. In school, we have educational standards to live up to, and we can only advance on to the next grade when we meet them. And when we get a job, our employers also expect certain things of us.
Until one day, wow, boleh tahan, then suddenly you explode.
Yes, correct.
I know, right? So I think that is why when I was sharing all the statements earlier, all of y'all were pressing it like off the roof. Yeah.
I always hear this statement when I was younger, when I was still schooling. Your cousin scored better than you. I feel that is like a punch in the face.
I think it's sometimes a bit sad that in schools the emphasis is on grades, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean there are other places that we excel in as well, and I think we should also look up to those, and I think we also set expectations on those experiences as well, like your CCAs where we have to compete in SYF. So I completely agree. I think sometimes grades can be something that we focus too much on as well.
Yeah, so for example, the CCA example, expectations are not necessarily bad. It is natural to have them. So the problem arises when we place too much weight on the expectations of others to the point that we start living for their approval instead. So based on our sharings earlier, I can see that all of you have at some point in time some negative association with the word expectation. Yeah.
Mahira, you said all of you. Maybe you want to share about yours?
I mean, of course, I have my own challenges as well. That's why today I want to discuss what is the most painful part of living up to people's expectations.
I think it's not being able to listen to yourself. So there used to be a point of time, or sometimes I catch myself still doing it. Like I live up to what people expect of me, what people need. Like I just naturally want to give, or want to people please. And it takes a toll on you when all you think about is what makes someone else happy. Just be aware of. If not, you just lose yourself. And I found myself losing myself to, just thinking of what the world needs from me. And then when I burn out, I can't give anything anymore. I'm like, this is all I have. And then, it just piles up and it messes with you mentally.
Being a people pleaser is okay, but also you must find a balance between, and you must listen to yourself and set your own expectation lah, and not always live up to people's expectation.
Yeah.
Because you know yourself better.
Yes.
You know yourself the best.
Agree.
Let's play a game together, right? People expect me blank. What I really want, blank. And then result, achieve, failed, struggling.
Ugly.
Okay, done.
Done.
Okay, maybe we can start with Munah.
All right.
What do you have on your board?
I say people expect me to be 100% all the time. What I really want is peace and groundedness. And what I'm trying to say is that you can't expect what people expect. Like, that's just gonna happen. You can't control that at all. So it is on me to do something about it, to find my own peace and pace. And the result is that it's achieved, but I put here and there because I think it's a process. Because you do always want to make the situation better. You know what's expected from you at work, for example, or with family. But at the same time, like I said before, you need to know where you're at mentally, physically, emotionally even. So it is a process, but I feel like I've found a nice kind of course to be here and there and find balance with it.
So people expect me to be perfect, to be like 10-10 all the time. So I feel, they have their expectations. It's not wrong to have your own, to expect people to be in a certain way. But what I really want is actually to be myself, to be me, like we do not have perfect days all the time. We are not feeling like 10-10, we wake up feeling 10-10 every day, So sometimes if I am, feeling a bit under the weather, just a bit like cruising like that. So I feel like people should understand that lah. The result will be, I'm still struggling, still finding the balance between. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm a people pleaser, so it's a bit hard lah. It's a bit hard, but I'm learning. I feel like as I grow older with people around me, and nowadays people are so positive and all. I feel like I definitely can achieve the result I want soon.
Yeah.
I think what I'm hearing a lot is also about other people as well. But if you take a step back to think about it, if you realize when our expectations and our own personal expectations, right, and other people's expectations match, things go swell. Good stuff, right? But then when those expectations don't meet, then that's when it starts to be like, it becomes a negative outcome, right? So actually, right, just for FYI, there is a special term for this.
Okay, wow, look at
What's
you. So
the
tell us about it.
Yeah, tell us.
So, let me read this. The term is called Pygmalion Effect, nothing to do with a pig. It's spelled Pygmalion. In simple words, high expectations lead to improved performance in that area. So I think we have often heard of this phrase, right? Without you, I wouldn't be who I am today. Right? So this is actually referring, and it's a very good example of a Pygmalion Effect. Is that right?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, if you think about it, high expectations can be like a double-edged sword. Like it can be good or bad.
It's good that someone else has an expectation of you, I guess, because sometimes it helps you feel like, yeah, I am stronger than I think. Like, as simple as, like when you're working out and then you think like you can't carry this weight, but then my trainer's like, no, you can, and then I do it. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, I can. So, she had the expectation of me, but I reached it because of the positive reinforcement that she gave to me. So that helps.
On the other hand, too much of it is also not too good. Like for example, if the personal trainer asks you to lift like a 20 kg, you are able to meet it. And they ask you to lift a 30 kg shortly afterwards. I mean, like, it's too much. Too much of something also lead to no good. Too much, yeah. So I feel like have to find a balance between.
So I wonder if expectations are actually positive or negative also because of how well you trust the person. So if you trust your personal trainer, right, then it's like, okay, I trust you lah. That's why I'm willing to push, because I know from experience, other people can, I can.
Yeah.
But I wonder if, for expectations that don't meet, right, maybe it's because of that lack of trust. Well, what do you think?
Oh, that's a really good point. Yeah, I do find myself gravitating towards encouragement or expectations with people I trust, because I feel like, okay, they know me well enough. Maybe they see something in me that I don't see. But when it is someone I don't trust, I guess that's when you have yourself to rely on, and then that's when you also set your own boundaries.
I feel mutual understanding is also important. But for me, I personally feel that I will gravitate towards like tough love. Like what Munah say, Munah is like more for like positive reinforcement. But to me, I feel like I gravitate more towards tough love because maybe I grow up from it. Yeah, and I don't know, maybe people around me treat me like not that positive, I feel lah personally, but it works for me, for me. If I do not trust or understand the person long enough, right, I will feel like, is your tough love really coming from a place of love, or you're coming a place of certain stigma, criticism, or expectations?
About trust and all that, sometimes, we have to learn how to manage the expectations of others as well, right? So, and the only way to do that is by saying no to them.
A perfect segue to jump into our next segment, which is called None of Your Business. So on the board in front of you, you can fill up your current expectation that people have of you that you hate. Now, Daryl will actually read out your expectation, and once he reads it out, you must confidently tell him none of your business. So let's start the ball rolling. So maybe Branden, you want to start?
Okay.
So you show him. Let's see.
I've been working here for so long. Why you still don't know?
None of your business.
Okay.
Let's even more. Can just like scold him.
Scold him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Loud more.
We can do this.
Branden's a nice guy lah.
Yeah,
Don't force him lah.
Sweet, yeah.
I will excel more in other areas, but maybe not in this area.
Wow.
Yeah, Carol.
Oh no, I'm very scared of Munah now.
Okay, now it's Munah's one.
Okay, so Munah hates it when people say, you are overthinking. Okay, first.
None of your business, Daryl. I'm so sorry, Daryl. I have to scold you.
Because she wrote two, so I have to say another one more
Scold him
time.
again.
Okay, so Munah hates it when people say, are you sure that's enough or right?
I don't know, Daryl. None of your business.
So how was it? Quite shocked to tell him none of your business? Is it?
Quite shocked to scold Daryl.
Normally, for me personally, I wouldn't really say this kind of thing. When people say this to me, I would just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I will keep quiet.
Sometimes it's a bit hard to say no to people, right? Yeah, so why do you find it hard to say no?
If I put an example in a job settings, right? Because I am working and this is my job and I'm working for a living, so I feel like it's kind of rude to say something off. Yeah, so I will just do some self-reflection and say, oh, okay, yeah, I will, go back and think about it, and I will learn more on how to improve. Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, like everyone learns at their own pace, right? So,
So it also depends on the setting, on whether you can say no or how harshly you can say no.
Correct.
And this one goes back to this one. This line where I like, squeeze the chicken so much. And this was actually like my life. I mean, okay, go back like maybe 14 years ago when I started on YouTube. You know, I wanted to go into acting and hosting. And I completely understand where my dad was coming from, because you know he came from a generation where the right path is like a certain kind of job, you know, where you have complete stability. And at that point of time, social media was nothing. And being an entertainer, it's an industry where it's very uncertain as well. And I was going into this path and he was like, why? Are you sure? So there was a lot of the initial years where I was struggling to you know, find something for myself. I was also struggling to make him understand that this is actually what I want to do. This is my passion. So I think it's also something I want to say, because a lot of people, or a lot of the youth these days, they want to do something with social media, and it's great because it's such a booming platform. There's so many opportunities now, but I think it's so important that you put in the hard work. And if people are saying that, yeah, this is not a viable job, you know, like it's not real, then you work even harder, because when you know you have the fire for it, when you have the passion for it, something will come out from it. You just have to be patient and just trust the process.
Yes.
There will be days where you fail and you're like, why didn't I listen to people? But if this is what you want to do, trust the process and just work as hard as you can. Yeah.
And prove them wrong.
Yes. Nice.
Yeah.
What is the most ridiculous expectations you have heard before?
With the right now, with everything is going on, you know, like social media and all, sometimes you tend to see people are achieving so much more than you. So personally, you will set your expectation high to hopefully be the benchmark, of your generation. Yeah. So I personally feel sometimes the expectation is ridiculous lah to me.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think I'm the one who sets the most ridiculous expectation for myself. And I guess it also has to do with that, you know, like you just have to keep pushing or I find myself that I'm not happy with what I have sometimes. I'm like, no, this is not enough. Okay, no, I gotta do more. Why am I not doing enough? You know, like I just like get in my head. But what I've learned is that sometimes you need to take a step back and look at the things you've accomplished. Yes, maybe there are so many other things that you think you can do, but at the same time, don't forget how far you've come, how much you've gone through to get to where you are. And it can be like the smallest wins. I think that's something that you have to also appreciate and see, like, you know what? I'm here now, I'm still standing, I'm healthy, I'm still able. So don't be so hard on yourself, because it gets really bad.
Whether it is having to live up to others' expectations or your own expectations, it can be tiring. And sometimes we just need to talk it out with a peer. So I tend to feel better myself if I voice it out with a friend or a peer. Yeah. So Daryl?
So talking about a peer supporter, right, did you know that young.ntuc envisions to create a community of certified peer supporters who can be friends, colleagues, peers that individuals can look to if they feel that they are mentally distressed and need a listening ear, or support in the workplace? Best part, there's even a WSQ course that is partially funded by the government for interested individuals. So more info about the course and mental well-being resources can be found at the link below.
That's great. I think if there are resources, then go for it, because, you know, not all of us can afford therapy. Not all of us know exactly where to go. So I think the first step is, you know, getting access to all these things that are there for you. So
Especially in this day and age, I feel mental health is very important.
it is so important. Yeah.
So if there is resources and easily accessible, I think everyone can reach out.
Yeah, it is important to reach out, I think. Sometimes you just can't do it on your own, you know, like it's true. Just talking to someone, having someone listen to you, that could be that could make such a big difference to how you're feeling.
Okay, nice. And before we end, we always ask our guests this one final question. What do you think can help us craft a future workplace that everyone can thrive in?
So we would like you to put in your ingredient into our big bowl of YTF.
Good vibes.
Good vibes.
Nice. So what do you feel about living up to people's expectations? What do you think about our YTF TV? And what other topics do you want us to talk about? Comment down below and let us know. Your opinion matters to us.
Yes, we hope everyone will be able to manage expectations set by others or by yourselves. Expectations are inevitable, but more importantly is how we are able to react and manage them when they arise. YTF TV is brought to you by Young.ntuc and Youth Taskforce. For more information on Youth Taskforce, please visit youngtaskforce.sg. Thank you for watching this episode of YTF TV. Don't forget to like this video, follow our social media account, and share this video with your peers. Our Youth Task Force Roving Youth Hub will also be going to these campuses, so be sure not to miss it. And with that, YTF TV, you've got this! See you next time!
I get to bring this home? People expect this from me. I'm like,